The ability to see the world through a different lens is a gift that can be game-changing. It's the gift of perspective, a unique way to think about or explain something that's otherwise difficult or even impossible to understand. Albert Einstein, for example, famously conducted thought experiments, picturing himself riding on a beam of light, observing the universe along the way. What he saw through this lens reshaped the way we think about the world of physics. Jobs to be done is best defined as a perspective. It's a powerful lens that allows aspiring innovators to observe markets, segments, customer needs, and competitors differently, and in doing so, make their success at innovation far more predictable and profitable. Many of the world's most sophisticated companies are using this lens to change their innovation mindset and to transform innovation from an art to a science. Here's what they are doing. Rather than experiencing the world of innovation through the lens of the company and the products and services they offer, they've realized that there is much to be gained by viewing the world of innovation through the lens of the customer and the problems they're trying to solve. After all, people don't want a quarter-inch drill, they want the quarter-inch hole. So to be successful as an innovator, you should choose to see the world of innovation through the lens of the hole maker, not the drill maker. From this perspective, the world looks very different. What becomes immediately obvious when looking through this lens is why people buy products and services in the first place. People buy products and services to get a job done. This is an economic principle. In other words, people buy products and services to help accomplish tasks, achieve goals and objectives, and to resolve and avoid problems. A job can be anything that a group of people are trying to accomplish. Making the job the unit of analysis and the focus of innovation research, rather than the product or the customer, changes the way markets and customer needs are defined. It exposes long-standing myths about innovation. Through this lens, a new language of innovation emerges, one that brings clarity, structure, and science to a process that's traditionally filled with ambiguity. For example, while it's obvious that companies serve markets, today, across nearly 70% of product teams, there's disagreement on what a market even is. This should be a concern. Think about it. How does your company define its markets? Around its products, a technology, an application, a use case, vertical, geography, demographic? Through a company lens, it's hard to see how to best define a market. But through a jobs to be done lens, it becomes obvious. Since people buy products and services to get a job done, it follows that a market should be defined as a group of people plus the job they're trying to get done. Parents trying to pass on life lessons to children constitute a market. Surgeons trying to repair a rotator cuff constitute a market. Defining a market in problem space rather than solution space offers companies a stable, long-term focal point for value creation. While products come and go, what people are trying to accomplish remains a constant in the equation. We find a similar situation when it comes to defining customer needs. We all know that winning products satisfy unmet customer needs. Yet according to our research, over 90% of product teams disagree on what a customer need even is. This too should be a concern. Think about it. How does your company define a need? As a solution, a feature, a benefit, a requirement or specification, an exciter or delighter? Through a company lens, it's not clear how a need should be defined. But through a jobs to be done lens, it becomes obvious. Since people buy products and services to get a job done, it makes sense to define needs as the measurable outcomes that people want to achieve when getting the job done. When preparing a meal, for example, you want to minimize the likelihood of over or undercooking the meal. You want to minimize the time it takes to cook the meal and to clean up. These are just some of your measurable outcomes. Through this lens, people don't have latent needs or needs they can't articulate. In problem space, people like you know exactly what they're trying to accomplish. In our experience, it's not uncommon for people to articulate dozens of outcomes as they describe what they're trying to achieve when getting the job done. Through this lens, needs discovery becomes far more effective and useful because the need statements themselves serve as instructions for value creation for years to come. Here's an example of measurable outcomes that completion engineers use to measure success when extracting oil from an unconventional reservoir. Once a product team can agree on what a need is and what the customer's needs are, they're ready to think about which needs are unmet. Through a jobs to be done lens, unmet needs are defined as the important, measurable outcomes that people struggle to achieve. In other words, they are the important outcomes that are not well satisfied with today's solutions. Knowing upfront what outcomes are unmet enables companies to conceptualize product ideas that they know with a high level of confidence will address the outcomes and win in the marketplace. Best of all, this becomes possible before the development of that product even begins. Achieving product market fit this early in the innovation process is the holy grail of innovation. A focus on the job to be done offers another invaluable insight that's worth mentioning. It sheds new light on market segmentation. According to our research, over 80% of product teams disagree on the best way to segment a market. This too should be a concern to innovators. Well, think about it. How does your company segment its markets? Around demographics or psychographics, personas or use cases, attitudes, behaviors, price points? Through a company lens, it's not clear how to best segment a market. But through a jobs to be done lens, it becomes obvious. If the goal of market segmentation is to discover subsets of customers who struggle differently when getting a job done, then the best way to segment a market is around the unmet measurable outcomes. An outcome-based approach to segmentation is made possible only when markets and needs are defined through a jobs to be done lens. When preparing a meal, for example, half the market may struggle when it comes to overcooking the meal, while the other half may not. By segmenting the market around the unmet outcomes, innovators can learn what circumstances cause different segments to exist and how to address their unique struggles. This is truly a breakthrough approach to market segmentation. As you start to put all these pieces together, it becomes clear that innovation doesn't have to be a random, unpredictable process. In fact, the goal of innovation becomes obvious, and so does its definition. Through this lens, we'd like to define innovation as the process of devising a solution, a product or service, that gets a job done better. Like I said up front, a new perspective can be game-changing. When it comes to innovation, a jobs to be done perspective is exactly that. Through a jobs to be done lens, the team here at Strategian has changed the way markets, needs, and segments are defined. We've also created a powerful innovation process that puts this theory into practice. It's called outcome-driven innovation. The outcome-driven innovation process has been used in over 1,000 growth strategy engagements with a world-class blue-chip client base across 30-plus industries, helping them generate billions of dollars in new revenue. It's been battle-tested for decades, and most important, it makes the innovation process 5 times more predictable. It's time to look at innovation through a new lens. Come join us on our journey as we change the way the world innovates. And take the next step. Download our free ebook or audiobook at jobstobedonebook.com or contact us at info@strategian.com. Thank you.